mapenzi baby. Alo, nakupenda sana. Alo mama, alo, wapi baby, mapenzi tamu. Alo, nakutaka sana. Oh mama, oh mama.
Hey, Maze, asante, thank you, asante sana for joining us for another classic episode of the Wicked Edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. We have a great show lined up for you. One of the highlights of this week is Bomet residents crying juu wanafosiwa na maendeleo, Maze. Apparently, the project is a bridge that cannot be crossed.
This bridge is one of the many bridges built in this area.
Kuna kitu kama daraja hapa, sio daraja, sio culvert. Ilijengwa kama mwenda simu. Mtu wenye ilijenga vibaya kwa njia nyingine. Sijui ni barabara ama ni nini.
But now residents have been avoiding it, saying that it has hampered their movement instead of easing it.
Kulingana na vile hii njia imetengenezwa. Imetengenezwa kwa hali nyingine ambayo haipitiki. Kwanza culvert yenyewe ama daraja yenyewe vile ilijengwa, maji inapitia kando. Na vile hii barabara ilijengwa, vijana wangu huwa wanaanguka kila mara. Wengine karibu wasombwe na maji juu daraja ilijengwa vibaya.
Hiyo daraja kitu fani ni huo msee wa bodaboda association ya huko anasema wase wake wanaanguka every time. To mean kuna msee wa nduthi anakuja anajiamini nayo 20. But to the contractor's defense, mina get idea yake, hii bridge ni kama bump. Itafutika with time. So that makes it long lasting. Ni kanyagwe tu. Now the mistake these people are making ni kupita kando. But the bwana contractor mazi, mtu asikwambie kitu, hiyo bridge yako iko juu. Yes. And now wase waonangi hizi ideas vile ni subtle. The Kenya Kwanza government is brilliant. The concept of building a bridge that people cannot cross is how even in parliament hakuna mtu anavuka kuingia pande ya Azimio. Exactly. And it has been an interesting week altogether. Police this week banned bang worth 17 million shillings in Makueni. You may ask, how did the police know at your banking ya 17 million? The answer is very simple. Hii Kenya hakuna watu wanajua kupima banki kama makarao. Yes. Polisi anaweza kuangalia hivi ajue kama banki yako imepanda ama imeshuka. Na pia kuna different styles za polisi. Kuna different style ya polisi wanaweza kupima banki. Good example, if you showed the Inspector General of Police a video of police officers being chased by protesters, he'd be like, no, our officers were not running. They had just overtaken the protesters. In fact, wanaenda kuangoja mbele. In fact, they are showing them the way. Now, I've never understood the paradox. You're destroying bang na kuichoma. As in, how do you destroy something? How do you destroy something the same way it is supposed to be consumed? Unashika mtu na bangi, alafu unaenda kuifanyia the same thing alikuwa ameipangia. Hiyo inafanya ikae ni kama ni wivu. Mtu anaweza sema kumbe shida sio bangi, ni mwenye anaichoma. Now here's my problem na hiyo story ya kuchoma bangi wholesale. What measures are taken to make sure that innocent civilians do not inhale the illegal smoke? Think about it. Imagine waamue kuchoma bangi on a Sunday. Bishop ako katikati ya neno alafu serikali inachoma bangi somewhere around. Like, and then Moses said, and then the Lord said to Moses, remove your shoes for you are standing on holy ground. And then Moses said to the Lord, unajua alafu juu sasa kuna pia burning bush around the church. So and then Pastor and a mix. Then the Moses said unto the Lord, ja. Now I think that's what must have happened to this interpreter.
If we are here, you've not received your miracle yet.
If you are here today,
it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what is happening in life. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what is saying to you. But because you are in this altar, I say to somebody, God will visit somebody.
You're not going to stop you. You're not going to worry you. You're not going to stop you. You're not going to worry you. You're not going to stop you. You're not going to worry you.
Now, still on bang, Maze, Moyale residents have been warned against feeding bang to donkeys for increased performance.
Wengine wanapatiwa wanakorogewa bangi Bangi hiyo sasa punda na kukorogewa pamoja na chakula, ikikula sasa inafanya kazi mingi sana. Hajijui inajua amepata hiyo drug. Hiyo tunalaani.
Binadamu ndio anavuta bangi, sio bunda.
Na hasa nao pia wameenda sana. Kwanza wao msaki akisema ati binadamu ndio anavuta bangi, sio bunda. Ati for increased performance. For increased performance. Mimi siwezi buy punda huko mazi. Utagongwa. Na hii bunda nakuuzia bei ya ngamia sababu inakuja na horsepower. Now, moving on, Kenyans have expressed mixed reactions to reports that Mama Ngina Kenyatta, the former first lady, the first lady in Kenya, should I say, got an increment on her pension to nearly 700,000 shillings. Now, upon further digging, we found that the money is actually pension payment for the country's founding father. That's Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. Now, you see how wale ma finance gurus describe wealth. Ati to be wealthy, you need to find ways you can make money while you sleep. Yes, it seems like now... It seems like now true wealth is finding ways you can make money when you're dead. Now, it makes sense why winning the presidency in Kenya seems like a matter of life and death. Basically, Mama Ngina is getting paid juu ya mtu alimkufia. Now, in other news, a Chinese man has been jailed after he scared his neighbor's chicken to death. Manze alishtua kuku zikadedi. 1,100 chicken. Now the story was like revenge after the neighbor chopped down his trees without informing him. Now this is a very interesting twist and coincidence happening in China barely 2 weeks after in Kenya it was reported that a man associated with keeping chicken was said to be in bad terms with a man whose trees had been cut. Now, hapo kwa kuku pia, tukiwa hapo kwa kuku pia, a Nigerian court has ordered the killing of a cockerel, hiyo ni jogoo, after a neighbor complained of disrupted sleep. As in, mse alipeleka mse kwa koti, jogoo yake inampigia kelele, judge sentenced the chicken to death. Yes. While defending himself, the owner of the chicken, or the cock, pleaded with the judge to give him until Friday to slaughter the cock because that's what he was planning to eat for Easter. Like alisema apewe mpaka Good Friday. So this would explain why Yesu wa Tongaren was not crucified. Maze jogo alikulwa kabla hajawika. Now, on the real though, Yesu wa Tongaren ni diehard mazi. He was not crucified because he refused. Alisema hakuna vile anakufia dhambi za watu mara mbili. To which sinners responded, basi kama huwezi kufia wa Kenya wote, si ukufia hata watu wa Juja peke yake. Sawa. Now, he refused again. To science now, a study has revealed that plants also cry when stressed. Now, that another study also found that, the tears from the plant is what local people call soup. You see? Machozi, mchuzi. Now, that said, kama kawaida, you know, sahi kwanza inasemekana more children want to be YouTubers than doctors, engineers, or pilots, or any other of those careers. We have an amazing guest on this episode, and she's one of Kenya's top YouTube vloggers. A beautiful story in the making, here to tell us about her journey so that you can judge for yourself kama it's a path you or your child would like to take. Miss Trudy is in the house! Thank you. Thank you. Asante sana. She is joining us on the other end of this short commercial break. See you in a bit. Hey, welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. Our guest for this episode is one of the biggest YouTubers out of the 254. She's made a name for herself, going international, and believe you me, nikisema one of the biggest, kuna paradox here, she's also one of the youngest. She has a very good, beautiful journey, starting from the bottom, starting from scratch. Nilianza kuwatch videos zake 4 to 5 years ago, and she's here to tell us all about that. Unajua sahi watu wanasema young people and children are more likely to want to be YouTubers than to be astronauts, doctors, and pilots, engineers, na hizo careers zingine zote. So probably that's the new information, ama that's the new trend kwa job market. So she actually does YouTube for a living. So for those of you who do YouTube, ama mnataka kukua na career online, this episode is a special dedication for you. Miss Trudy is in the house. Miss Trudy story yake inaanza kwa alikuwa mademu wa promotion. So, and you have a very beautiful story ya kufutwa job. What was the experience ya kufanya hizo jobs za promotion na what was your breaking point kuingia YouTube?
It wasn't easy back then. We used to do promotions because Kenya hakuna job. You know, kuna watu wamemaliza shule, you have degrees, but there are no jobs. So you do what you get. So mimi nilimaliza shule but sikuwa na job. So job yenye ilikuwa available was working in the supermarket as a promoter. Au ni wale mademu mwenye mnasimama in the supermarket, when someone walks in, you approach them and tell them, excuse me, I'm selling Omo. You know, you have to sell it.
Ukisema back then mtu anasikia ni kama 1982.
Avana, like kama 4 years ago before I started YouTube.
Now the transition kutoka super mpaka YouTube, why what happened?
So me, I had planned my life. Nilikuwa najua I'm going to do promotions for a while and then I get promoted, nikuwe merchandiser. So promoters are those who stand in the supermarket from morning till evening. Usipate ukikaa, usipate ukinil, just stand. Lunch break is like 30 minutes. So me, I was like, if I can get promoted, nikuwe merchandiser. Merchandisers wanakuja wanapanga vitu kwa supermarket wanaenda. Hawachoki kama promoters. So I was working towards that, but I wasn't getting promoted for so long. Then one day, the owner of the company we were working for came into the supermarket. I didn't know who he was, but I sold the product with my all. And he was so impressed and he was like, come see me on Saturday, you deserve a promotion. I was like, finally, you know, this is it. So that Saturday I went, and then, you know, in front of many people, like these people here, I was fired and I thought I was going to be promoted.
Okay, sorry.
Thanks.
Na smile, but because you have it has a beautiful ending.
Yeah.
But it's also, I was 2 years old when I learned that kuna mademu fanya ulipwa, ama basically kuna mademu wanapangwa job ya kuapproach wase. Like, was that the most difficult? Was that the most difficult part ya job ya promotion?
At first it was, because unaweza approach mtu asha kujudge. You know, some people don't even want your time, they don't want to listen, some people size you and you're like, oh my god, I'm just trying to sell a product. Unajua, I'm working. Some people wanakujudge ni kama you're a con woman or something.
Now, what did that teach you?
I think God was preparing me for what I do now. I think I'm doing the same thing, just on a different level. Yeah, because I'm promoting places, things, but not in the supermarket, but on my channel.
Okay.
That, as in, I used to face people who are really tough. I feel it's like the same right now with haters. You have haters online, so I think it was preparing me for now. Yeah. Okay.
Na for someone, say old school kama mimi, how do you define vlogging to me?
So vlogging is video, taking videos of anything and everything, and you know, putting it online. That is
just
vlogging.
That.
Yeah, your lifestyle, cooking, eating, traveling. That is vlogging. Creating content for the purpose of people's consumption.
Now, sasa, I believe my first interaction ya video yako was how much detail you had in your video in terms of, now I'm doing this, now I'm doing that, right? Like, oh, I'm walking now, I'm nateremka stairs. How do you know that that is content? Like, how does that fit kwa profile ya someone needs to watch this?
Let me tell you, when I started, I didn't even know what I was doing. I was so confused. I used to see people doing things online on a copy. Like, let me do this, let me do this, let me try this, I didn't know, I hadn't figured myself out yet. But as time went by, I just started, you know, showing my life. Like, when I go somewhere, I actually started showing these restaurants in town.
Yeah.
Like, when I come back to Kenya, it's so emotional. Ata leo kupita hapa, I was like, oh my god, nilikuwa na vlog huku chini so many times.
Yes.
So I never even thought of it. I just knew I loved doing it, and so I just did it.
Really?
Yeah.
And now, one of our audience members wondered what content would be. And most of your life is on video. Most of your life is on camera, right? Wewe uka hivi unajua, mazebu acha ni rekodi wa Kenya wanataka kuona. Like, is that the decision-making process to come up with content for vlogging?
Apana. Actually, at first, I used to be so confused. I didn't know what I was doing. alafu nilikuwa na idea ya just vlogging my life. Siku moja mtu akaniambia, yani you think people will watch you? So like wanaanza, who do you think you are? You know, you're not Vera Sidika. Like you don't have a life to show people. So I went and I cried and I cried. And then I decided to just continue anyway. I was even shocked at how people watch me, you know, because I'm just showing my everyday life. Yeah.
Huyo mtu alikwambia you are not Vera Sidika. They used those words.
Yeah.
My fans were Vera mwache hizo.
I like wow.
Huyo mtu ni fan wa Vera Sidika, juu alikuangalia hivi akakwambia you are not Vera Sidika.
Si kwa online, kwa face to face. So yeah.
Face to face. Why do you think alikuambia you are not Vera Sidika?
I think because alikuwa naona I'm wasting time. Like sasa na do, you know, yeah.
Oh, content, not
yeah, content.
Now, and now, at what point did you notice that people are paying attention with the audience growing? And with this, tuambie, the first time you tasted YouTube money?
I didn't make money for like a year on YouTube. I was just creating content, not making money. I didn't even know people make money on YouTube. Yeah. After about 1 year, I started hearing, oh, you know, you can make money. I'm like, really, how? And then I applied for AdSense, and then I got my first salary, which was 10K.
Salary?
10K, and I was so happy.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, at least I'm making money from what I'm doing. But after like a few months, I was like, oh my God, just at 10K, it's little. What am I going to do with 10K? At that time, you know, you have former classmates who have like real jobs or who are in school. Where, you know, some class. People used to judge you and laugh at what you're doing online until you start doubting yourself, like, sasa anadu, you know. And then this money, you know, what am I doing? It got so confusing.
It got so confusing.
Yeah.
And to confuse you even further, from 10K, I believe you had a video where you were constructing a house for your father. And that is all from your online activities.
Yeah.
So, mnataka kusikia vile mtu anatoka kwa 10K mpaka ajenge keja? Yeah. Sawa. So, take us through the process.
Well, the process, I believe it's just been consistency and determination. I used to have so many friends who started doing YouTube together, but they gave up because walikuwa wanaona waste time, highly P, you know. I didn't see a big future, but I just loved it. And something in me told me to keep going. Yes. So I feel like just consistency, determination, and, you know, giving yourself some time. Yeah. Consistency,
determination, hata ukiingia kwa cab, camera iko on. That is consistency and determination.
Kila pali.
Am I allowed to say that your initial vlogging content was you recording your joblessness?
Oh yeah, for sure.
and from that is how you got to where you are now, right? Ndio ufike place unajenga nyumba, right? For your dad, who I believe you love so much because you talk about your dad a lot. So for you to get to that place, like what's the most amount of money umeipata mpaka ukashtuka from content?
$10,000.
That's 1 million bob.
Yeah.
In how long?
A month.
In 1 month. Tengeneza 1 million bob in 1 month. What do you do with that money?
Investing.
Really? And where do you learn information you're investing? For example, from someone ulikuwa unalipwa tuseme probably 20-30K in promotions.
10K.
Ulikuwa unalipwa 10K? Also YouTube iliamua tu kukulipa do ulikuwa unalipwa kwa promotion.
Hapana. Well, yeah, when my very first salary on YouTube was kama hiyo ya promotions, yeah.
Okay.
But at least now I was doing something that is fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between 10K on YouTube and 10K doing promotions.
Yeah.
Where does the knowledge of investing come from?
Well, when my dad retired, and then he used to just stay in the house because he was retired. He was a doctor, but then he retired and he was just in the house. But he had built just a few apartments. So alikuwa anakaa home, na at the end of the month anapata pesa from the rent. So I was like, wow. So I don't have to go and work to get money at the end of the month. As long as I build a house I'm going to have money at the end of the month. So I was like, that's what I want. I'm not the kind of person who wants to go out and work every day to get money. So I thought that's the way to go.
Ah, and what will be your word to mtu anataka kuanza from scratch then?
YouTube.
Yes, because YouTube is an open platform. Anybody can do content. Yes, so what is your word to someone who wants to start?
Just go for it and just be you. When I started, I was so scared, like, because I didn't know what I was doing. I used to compare myself to other girls. I thought they were so pretty. I thought I wasn't pretty enough. And then I thought they were so rich. Mimi sikuwa na do. So I was like, I can't afford to do what they're doing. You know, I just felt out of place. But I think there's room for everyone. Just be creative and be consistent.
Okay. And YouTube has not only given you money, YouTube has also given you a husband. Right? So how did that come about? So now, you see, I told you I used to make 10K. It got to a point where I just got so depressed, I wanted to give up. Because I'm like, Mimi, I love doing YouTube. But then YouTube inanipea to 10K. And I can't live on this. And if I quit, I'm going to be employed 9 to 5. I don't want to do 9 to 5. So what will I do? I was so depressed that time. And then I got a DM from this random guy on Instagram, and I check it out. He's someone saying he's coming to Kenya to create content. So by the time I was replying, I was 3 months late. He had already left, and he called himself like Odemaya or something. I'm like, who's this guy? So I replied, and he's like, I'm sorry I left. Then we just continued talking. Like about 2 weeks to a month later, he was like, I'm going to Ethiopia. Do you want to come? I'm like, no, I'm so depressed. Just leave me alone. But then something told me, just go. What do you have to lose? And since I started working, until that point, I had saved about 40K. Mbele na nyuma, I only had 40K. So I was like, you know what? What do I have to lose? You know, let me just go. And that's the best choice I've ever made in my whole life, because I booked my flight. It was 25K return ticket, going and coming. And then I went to Ethiopia and I met him. And he just transformed my life, basically. Wow. So he's the bridge between you making 10K and now you having a breaking point on YouTube. Yeah, for sure. How? Well, he taught me how, because he asked me, what do you do apart from YouTube? I said, I do YouTube. He said, anything else? I said, no. He asked me, how often do you upload on YouTube? I said, twice a week. And he was like, that's your full-time job? I said, yes. Then he's like, people go to work every day. You go to work twice a week, and you say this is your full-time job. If this is your job, you need to give it 100. You need to go every day. So I started uploading videos more consistently, almost every day. And then he taught me how to place ads. I didn't know how people place ads in videos. How do people place ads for someone who's watching? Well, there's a place where you can monetize. When you go to a YouTube studio, there's monetization. Yes. And then you place as many ads as you want. Me, I never used to place ads. So he taught me these are very important. You know, I also never used to believe in myself. So when you go to my tags, I was putting everyone's name. Because I thought when you search them, you find me. So I placed ads on my video. I uploaded consistently. And for the first time, I made $1,000. That's and I was like 100K thereabout? Yes. I was like, oh my God, what? I was so happy. I couldn't be, it changed my life. From that time, that's the least I've ever made on YouTube. Wow. Yeah. Congratulations, you've done well for yourself. And on the topic of Odemaya, by the way, Odemaya is one of the finest content creators wa Africa. He's international now, sindio? Yeah. By the way, bewake anafaa kujesho, sindio? Yeah. Anafaa tupe hiyo connect, sindio? He's one of the finest content creators, especially content yake ya real estate. Go check him out. When you meet him, right? You are in a long distance relationship. You travel across Ghana, sindio? Like when mtu kikoliwa say, niko home nikam ni ndege, sindio? So our guest on the show last week, and it was Silas Nyanchwani, is an author, pia one of the best. Alituambia a long distance relationship ni scam. How true is this statement? That's absolutely false. How so? Because I feel like my life is the opposite of that statement. He's Ghanaian and I'm Kenyan, and we made it work. So
Yeah.
But ndege, like, how many hours kutoka
8 hours.
8 hours. Kwa ndege, 8 hours. Wase wa Busia pia wanapiga to the same. Watch out for an episode featuring Miss Trudy and her husband Wodemaya. They have a beautiful story, and I really look forward to having that, and I hope we can set that up. In the meantime, final word kwa mafans wako and the toilet squad kwa comment section.
I want to say thank you so much for watching my channel through the years. Like Kingori started watching me like 5 years ago. Thank you so much for staying tuned in, and if you're new, welcome to the family. Yeah, a lot coming your way.
Okay.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel at Miss Trudy.
Yeah, subscribe to Miss Trudy. Check out her content, and you may learn. Are they allowed to learn how you do content?
Of course.
When uko chini wa learn vile you started.
Yeah.
For starters, waende wajaribu. You're not allergic to being copied?
No.
Hey, don't copy. Mkue pia creative. Just angalia concept to understand. Sindio? Wapi makofi ya Miss Trudy?